Hari Om. Let's start with the prayer. Om Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhusya Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are doing the 10th chapter of Panchadashi of Vidyaranya Swami, and we are at the Nataka Deepa Prakarana. Natakam, as we said, is nothing but the drama or the stage where the dance going on, and there are the audience and the stage lights are there that illumining both the dance and also the audience too, and whatever that comes onto the stage are being illumined. So dancer will come and dancer will go, or giving different types of expressions or roles playing in the drama. But as long as the deepam that is illumining the dance, that is the light is being focused, because without the light you cannot dance. So the light itself is as though unaffected by what's happening on the stage. But without the light you cannot see the dance. So here is where a Nataka Deepa Prakarana, where I had to stand apart like a light that illumining the drama of the dance drama or dance going on, and stand apart and look at the drama as though I am not involved in the drama, because the light is not involved in the drama. But without the light you cannot see or act also. So that is one aspect of it that's going to be discussed here. In the process, what is the drama? What is the stage? Stage is there is a dancer, and there is a stage built on it, and there is an audience, and there are other people or the musicians and all that are playing for which she is dancing. So all that is pictorially analogy is established, where I am dancing in the drama of life, where I am taking different roles in my life, and there are different other roles also, that like a musicians, like other people, like family and the rest of the society also are there in the drama of life. So I depend upon other people's actions. In the same way, in life also I depend upon other people for the drama to be beautiful. It's not a mono action, it is an action involving lot of people on the drama. But from my point, I have taken a particular role and I have to play the role. The role is given by the script called Prarabdha Karma, and the Prarabdha Karma provides me a stage and the script for which I have to act properly. And the Prarabdha Karma can be I am a husband, or I am a wife, or I am a son, or I am a father. So these roles are being prescribed. When I encounter my wife, I am a husband. When I encounter my daughter, I am a father. When I encounter a friend, I am a friend. And when I encounter the country, I am a citizen. When I go to office, I am an employee. So these roles are important to play, and some I have to play properly also. I am liable to play. If not, I will be punished. If I, as a citizen, I had to pay taxes. So that's a part of the role of a citizen. If I don't pay, so there is a vidhi, that are duties that has to be performed by the role. And these are to be played as long as it's a drama, there's no problem, because one who is playing a particular role in the drama himself knows that I am only playing a role and the role doesn't belong to me, or the problems of the role do not belong are not my problems. As an actor, once in a way I go to green room, change my dress so that I know that role was not mine, and come back again and play maybe another role, or and so on and so forth, that we are familiar. And here is the stage is being set up Stage is nothing but Paramatma before creation is constructing the stage for us to play, and that is Advaita Purna, that is Paramatma, the Brahman, who is of the nature of Satchid Ananda, and that is pure existent consciousness and limitless, and that is Purna, therefore it is complete by itself. That means there is nothing that you can add, it's complete. Apurnam, that's what Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says. Apurna means overflowing pureness. That means there is nothing, even an iota can take it there. And Purvam Somaya, Purvam here is the time wise, before creation and after creation. How did creation occur? It is creation occurring, it's already Purnam, complete, and it has to create. How does it create? So we are talking about two aspects of creation. One is we need an intelligent cause, another is a material cause. So if I want to create a pot, I should know how to create a pot. That is, know-how or knowledge has to be there. It's called Nimitta Karanam. Nimitta means the cause for which the creation can occur, intelligent cause. Means I should have the knowledge of how to create. And the knowledge, not only knowledge, skill also has to be there. And besides that, I need a material to create. Where do I get a material to create? Material is created from my own self. Because when I am creating a pot, I cannot create a pot without a clay. But I don't create a clay for it. Clay I can borrow from outside, because from Ishvara's creation I am taking the clay and making a pot out of it. So their creation I am only in intelligent cause, the material cause is given by something else. So therefore, we have Kakabhushana listening to the talks also. So the intelligent cause and the material cause are different in the normal creation. But if Brahman is one without a second, therefore there is no two for him to go somewhere to get a material. Material also has to come from itself. So how does he get material? And how does he become? It gets Swamayaya. Says, let's read the mantra, verse 1. Paramatma Dvayananda, Paramatma Dvayananda, Purnaha Purvam Swamayaya, Purnaha Purvam Swamayaya, Swayameva Jagat Bhutva, Swayameva Jagat Bhutva, Pravishas Jiva Rupataha, Pravishas Jiva Rupataha. So Paramatma Advayanandaha Purnaha, so that we covered Purvam Swamayaya, in the past, before creation, and for creation, Swamayaya, by his own Maya. Maya here is by his own powers. That means he has the Shakti, that is Maya Shakti. Maya Shakti is that power that which makes one into many. So it's called a change of state. Change of state means one becoming many is a creation. And infinite cannot become many, because infinite cannot undergo modification. Becoming many involves a vikara. Vikara means modification. And infinite cannot make a modification, and therefore it is only apparent modification. Therefore creation itself is an apparent. For one becoming a many, we need a force, and the force is called, essentially, driving force is called Maya. So that is called Avyakta Namni Paramesha Shakti, Anadya Vidya Trigunatmika Para, Karyanumeya, I forgot anyway. Avyakta Namni Paramesha Shakti. So it is a Parameshwara Shakti. Shakti means it's a force, and the Shakti requires a locus. Locus for the Shakti Maya is Parameshwara himself. So it is Swamaya, his own power, because power cannot be separate from him. And also you cannot go and get that power from somewhere else. And therefore that Maya has to come from himself. So Swamaya. Purvam Swamayaya Swayameva, by his own becoming many. So himself is a material cause, and the force to become is also coming from him. Swayameva Jagat Bhutva, he himself became many. So Purvaha, he was one alone, Ekameva Advitiyam. Now he is no more one, he has become Jagat. That means the process has been described in the Vedanta as first the 5 subtle elements have come, and the subtle elements includes Akasha, Vayu, Vayu, Agni, Agni, Apa, Prithvi, Prithivya, Oshadaya, Oshadibhyonnam, all that Taittiriya Upanishad gives. That means the 5 subtle elements, and from the subtle elements the gross elements have come. So you have 5 the Panchabhutas, and by what we call Panchikarana process, a grossification occurs, and that's what essentially is Jagat Bhutva. So Jagat includes all the lokas, 5 lokas, and also the material required, bodies required for each loka. So on what basis he creates? Again, you should go to the Bhagavad Gita. It says the karma of all jivas provides the basis for creation of the bodies. Karma occurs, there is a punyam and papam. And the punya karma, if you have more account of punya karma, then you will be born in a higher lokas, depending upon the ratio of punyam and papam. So for those higher lokas, you need a higher punyam compared to papam. And for lower lokas, you have more papam than punyam. And in the Matsya loka, in this world, you have balance of both punyam and papam, equal balance, close to. But in the Artha also, there is a gradation where you are born in a rich family or you are born in a poor family, you are born in a very healthy or not healthy, depending upon your punyam and papam accounts. So God doesn't indiscriminately create. He creates based on the karma sambhavaha. So the whole universe, the creation is propelled by the karma. So each jiva contributes to the creation by his own karma, and samashti karma of all karmas put together becomes the maya. It becomes a driving force for creating all 14 worlds. So Swamayaya Swayameva Jagat Bhutva, himself became many. So in the Chandogya Upanishad, Tadaichata Bahusyam Praja Eti, it saw. What was that saw? The pure existence alone was there. It is one without a second. Ekameva Advitiyam. And it saw. So how can it see anything? There is nothing there to see other than itself. That means it is become a self-conscious entity. Not becoming self-conscious. It is a self-conscious entity, and that was the existence. So it is Sat and Chit Swarupam. And being limitless, it is Ananda Swarupam. So what was there before creation is Satchidananda Swarupam. And itself became many, because there is nothing other than itself. It is infinite. So if there is a creation, it itself has to become many. So it has become completely many. So therefore, Swayameva Jagat Bhutva, himself became the many. That means the whole universe is nothing but the Brahman itself in different names and forms. So having created the subtle elements first, and then by grossification called Panchikaranam, the gross elements are formed, and using the gross elements, that means Akasha divides into half, and Akasha Vayu divides into half, like each of the 5 elements divides into half, and one half of that half divides further into 4 parts, and each part is distributed to the other 4. So Akasha, once half of it divided, it becomes 1/8 of it. 1/8 is distributed to Vayu, Agni, Apaha, like that. And each element distributes for other 4 the 1/8 of its contribution, and together everything becomes full. So Akasha, the gross Akasha, contains half of its own subtle Akasha plus 1/8 of Vayu, Agni, 1/8 of each of Vayu, Agni, Apaha, Prithvi, together forming total half, and total becomes one. That's called Panchikarana or grossification. And using the gross material, the Lord creates the 14 worlds. So now we have the Lord Ishvara and the Jivas coming in, and the Jagat. Jagat contains inert things, and Ishvara is a conscious entity, and Jiva is also a conscious entity. How Jiva and Ishvara is coming into picture is also being discussed here. Swayameva Jagat Bhutva Pravishat Jiva Rupataha. So Pravishaha means entering. So entering to Jiva Rupataha in the form of a Jiva. So after creating the body, mind, intellect in each level means in each loka, depending upon their prarabdha karma, whether it is a man or a woman or insect or any life forms or a tree or anything, that depends upon their karma. So having the body, mind and intellect, so the subtle elements as well as the gross elements. Subtle elements may be expressible or inexpressible. As in the tree, there is only gross elements. Subtle elements is very avyaktam. It is in the less dominant compared to animals and compared to the human beings. So once this body, mind, intellect are formed, says Pravishati Jiva Rupaha. In the form of a Jiva, it enters into that body, mind, intellect. So who enters what? So Paramatma enters. How does Paramatma enter there? It's already there. So in what form it enters? So entering this Pravesham, because scripture talks about it. So what exactly that means? It means the elements that BMI becomes a living entity. So enters as the life force. That's what we have to understand. So Lord Himself enters into the life force, because of which it is alive, without which it is not alive. So what exactly is the life force? So life force is nothing but a reflection of pure consciousness in the subtle material. So wherever there is a subtle material, like the mind and intellect, it's made up of subtle materials, reflection of pure consciousness which is everywhere occurs because the material has the capacity to reflect. So pravesham or upapravesham, anupravesham, these are the words that are used in the scriptures. So here he uses pravesha jiva rupataha. So pravesham means entering. Its entering is not something entering, it is as though entering onto the reflecting medium, so that the life is pulsating now. So it is when did it enter? It is purvam, before itself. That means it's almost like a beginningless. So whenever there is a mind and intellect, its reflection automatically occurs, and that's called Chidabhasaha. Chidabhasa means reflected consciousness in the Jiva. So Jiva is local. So each Jiva has mind and intellect, subtle body, and so each Jiva is created, the body, mind, intellect are created based on this prarabdha karma or karma of the Jiva that is ready to exhaust, and depending on that you take a birth in a particular family and particular form and so on and so forth. And the life is expressed as the reflected consciousness, because what is entered is as though conscious entity. By reflection, the subtle material also become a conscious entity. That's what pravesham means. Pravesham means entering, means it is a reflect. Chidabhasa formation is called a reflection. Chidabhasa means reflected consciousness. BMI is there, which is inert, and entering of Jiva is reflected consciousness. Now there is a life there. By reflection, the body, the mind and intellect becomes as though conscious entity. Just like any reflecting medium like moon as though become a luminous entity. Luminosity doesn't belong to moon, but yet reflection of the sunlight makes the moon as though luminous entity. In the same way, reflection of pure consciousness in the subtle material, that is in the mind and intellect, particularly buddhi, the buddhi becomes a reflecting medium because it has a capacity to reflect the consciousness like a mirror, and therefore it has now become a conscious entity by reflecting process, and that reflection ripples down to the mind and the gross body slowly. So therefore now we call it, when you say I am conscious entity, that means I am alive. Unconscious entity, if I go to a unconscious state, I cannot say I am. So even though life is still there, I am not able to express it through the mind, because mind is folded because of I am in the unconscious state. So therefore, Jiva Rupataha, as a Jiva entering means the reflection is occurring, therefore life is pulsating because of the reflection of pure consciousness by the local equipment. So each Jiva is different depending upon the reflecting capacity of the buddhi. If the buddhi is dull, the reflection is dull, and buddhi is bright, you can see reflection is also bright. So when you say he is a very bright student, not that he is shining something, but his eyes and the face shows that the buddhi is very sharp, and therefore a reflection of the buddhi is sharp means it is relatively pure compared to other. So it doesn't get agitated. So reflection occurs in all its glory, and therefore he can concentrate on anything. That's what they say. The criteria of the reflection means the buddhi is still, and therefore reflection is bright, therefore he can concentrate on anything and therefore grasp everything fast. Whereas the other minds were always agitated because of involvement with other the vishayas, objects that are around, it's running away different places, therefore ekagrata is not there. That means concentration cannot be done by that mind, because the mind always gets agitated, and therefore it runs over, therefore it is not calm and quiet, therefore intellect is dull, and therefore depending upon the nature of the reflecting medium, reflection occurs. So one jiva is different from another jiva, and you have a gradations of jivas depending upon the purity of the intellect. So one can make it pure by polishing the buddhi. How do you polish it? That's what is sadhana is. So pravesha jiva rupataha. So as though Lord is entering into it, means in the life form. So therefore Krishna says, I am there in every heart, every being, in every heart I am there. In what? As a reflecting medium. I am the one that gives the life for the jiva. So therefore, pravesha jiva rupataha, in the form of jiva, it's essentially expressed in the each jiva. So swayameva jagat bhutva pravisha jiva rupataha. So upapravesham and anupravesham is being discussed here. In one sloka, he has covered the creation and how it became many and how it becomes an individual jiva also. Now, how do we get different varieties of jiva is being discussed in the next sloka. Vishnuadyuttama deheshu Vishnuadyuttama deheshu pravishto devata bhavet Pravishto devata bhavet Martyadyadama deheshu Martyadyadama deheshu Sito bhajati martyatam Sito bhajati martyatam. Together. Vishnuadyuttama deheshu Pravishto devata bhavet Martya Jadama Deheshu Siddho Bhajati Martyatam Siddho Bhajati Martyatam. So Vishnu Adi Uttama Deheshu, Vishnu Adi Uttama Deheshu. So starting from the Vishnu Adi etc. So all other gods, Vishnu, Brahma, Shiva and so on and so forth, all the devatas are nothing but Uttama Deheshu, in the supreme. Uttama means highest purity of the everything. So complete reflection of the Maya occurs. So the God is nothing but reflection of pure Brahman in the Suddha Sattva Pradhana Maya. That's what essentially defined earlier as the Ishvara. Ishvara is nothing but reflection of pure consciousness in the Suddha Sattvam. That means in the Maya, Maya has Trigunatmikam, Maya is same as Prakriti. And Prakriti has Sattva, Rajo, Tamo gunas. And in the pure Sattva, reflection of the Ishvara, reflection of the pure consciousness in the pure Sattva is called Ishvara. And depending upon the purity now, Vishnu Adi Uttama Deheshu. So we have gradations of all, we have thousands of gods here, and all gods depending upon the purity of the intellect. Vishnu Adi Uttama Deheshu Pravishtaha, entering Devata Abhavatu. The pure Brahman becomes gods by entering, or means by reflecting in the pure Sattva Pradhana, the Prakriti, Maya. Martya Adishu Adimadeheshu. Martya means now, as in terms of mortals, Adi etc. Adamadeheshu, he calls it Adama. Compared to gods, from now on, all the Bhuloka and down all, they are called Martyaha, means relatively they have a shorter life. And the Adamadeheshu, because they have, Adama here is, they have impurities of more, but means besides the Sattva Guna, we have a Rajo Guna and Tamo Guna. And as you go down, Tamo Guna becomes more and more, from the Sattva Guna to Rajo Guna to Tamo Guna. As you go to Patala Loka, you will have Tamo Guna more, and as you go up in the higher scale in life, you start getting a Rajo Guna, and then you go to Devaloka and higher up, you get Sattva Guna. So this is a Trigunatmika Prakriti is divided into Sattva, Rajo, Tamo Gunas, and the proportions keep changing. If you look at the total, then they are all balanced, but one people have higher of this and other people are lower. So same money has been distributed more for the rich people one side, and poor people do not have it, even though equally everybody can get if you distribute properly. Same way Punyam and Papam are different too. So Martya Adishu Adamadeheshu Sitaha, staying, Martyatam Bhavati. So Martyatam Bhavati, the one that is the local Martyatam, so the beings that are of the, including the human beings, all beings are forming, including even in the Bhuloka, you have varieties of 85,000 varieties of species are there, and depending on that, you have life forms also. In everyone, there is a life. That means the pure consciousness is getting reflected as the life itself. So as long as there is a life, you recognize that it is nothing but pure God, pure Brahman in that form. And that should be property for meditation also. So in every life form, there is a Ishvara there in that form. So that's what Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, so Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmano Gavihastini. So the Sunis Chaiva Sopakaicha, so Pandita Samadarshinaha. So Panditaha, the one who is a knowledgeable person, he sees Samadarshana, he sees oneness in a wise Brahmin, or in the elephant, or in the cow, or in the dog, or even in the dog eater also. he sees oneness. Oneness means the life is there and the life is coming from the pure consciousness. So here the different gradations are not due to the Brahman but due to the reflecting media. It's a question of reflection media and the reflection. Reflection depends upon the reflecting media. Reflecting media can be pure, impure or in between, depending upon the proportions of sattva, rajo, tamo guna. So if you go all the way to Vishnu, that is the highest as in this. So it is Vishnum, Vishnus, Vashatkaraha. So he is himself is pure, so pure that he identifies everything himself. I am pure. Therefore he is Sarvajnaha, Sarvasektiman, Sarvavyapakaha. All these things that we chant in the Ashtottara Namavali is nothing but attributes of that Vishnu, which is all pervading, pure and everything. Therefore Sarvajnaha and Sarvavit. He knows the objective knowledge. It means he has a knowledge of everything, and also he is beyond this also, knowledge of pure Aham Brahmasmi too. And that's what being discussed here in terms of how varieties of beings are there, starting from Brahman. So this is what the creation has been discussed here in these two verses. With this we will stop and continue tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Visishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.